Previously on the Smoky Mountain Small Bore series. I drove to Tennessee. My two-stroke overheated less than 4 miles from the motel on the first ride with a water pump malfunction that was later fixed. Ryan put a hole in a piston in his 250cc two-stroke swapped Kawasaki Ninja on the second ride of the trip when we attempted to go to the Dragon. I rode the Dragon on the T-Max. The two strokes went drag racing and took on the tail of the Dragon all in the same day. I filmed some small bore traffic and took an early morning trip to see the sunrise over the Smokies and film at the Dragon. I enjoyed hanging out on a corner of the Dragon, watching and filming traffic early, but more and more bicycles were coming through from a big riding event that day, and it was starting to cause some traffic jams, so I packed up and headed toward the motel. Ryan told me earlier that there was a road called Happy Valley Road that had turns worse than the Dragon, and it happens to be between the Dragon and the Foothills Parkway, so I wanted to see what it was all about. It started off with a lot of gradual bends, but there were more sharp curves and switchbacks as I made my way through. I passed Flats Road, which I later realized is the route that most take that intersects with the Foothills Parkway. This tunnel goes under the parkway and seems to mark the end of smooth, clean asphalt. The road rapidly changed to a rough surface with potholes and ridges that your tires want to follow that was covered in gravel and loose dirt. I'm not sure if the dirt is always there or if there was a heavy rain that washed it out or something, but combined with the roughness and gravel, it did not make me want to take any sharp turns. Luckily, the worst turns I've ever experienced were just ahead. I saw the sign for a 10 mile per hour switchback, and the slowest that I recall on the Dragon was marked for 15 miles per hour, but I still underestimated the turn. I let off and gradually braked, but going downhill with 800 pounds of bike and rider, I didn't slow down as much as I should have, and I had to stay on the brakes so I didn't pick up speed, and realized that I wasn't making that tight turn, so I just braked hard enough to make sure I could stop. At least I didn't go careening off the side, and nothing was coming the other way to hit, but I still felt like a total noob. There were a couple more tight turns, but that was the worst. I don't think it would have been nearly as bad going uphill and around the longer side of the curve, but to be honest, I think the hill, not realizing just how sharp the turn would be, and letting the rough and dirty road get in my head all played a part. I actually searched after this to see other big bikes taking that turn, but the videos that came up never showed anyone on that part of the road. I assume because many take Flats Road and never see that area, but I'm certain that I'm not the only person that ever struggled there, and I'll venture to guess that many aren't as open as I am about sharing fails. I was definitely stressed on Happy Valley Road for a bit and never wanted to see it again at the time. But the section from Flats Road toward the Dragon was really nice, and the switchbacks past there are, I think, about as challenging as you're likely to find. I started to think that I wasn't on the right path and that I should be coming to the Foothills Parkway by now, not realizing I had already passed it, so I pulled over and looked up directions back to the motel. I got back around 11:15 and the rally site next door was full of small bore enthusiasts. Ryan was still at the motel and said he was going to Clingmans Dome, which is the highest point in the area with an elevation of 6,643 feet. That should be a real test of the carbureted two-stroke. I asked if I could tag along, and he said sure, so I hopped back on the T-Max. I thought about taking the two-stroke, but I still wasn't that confident in my repaired water pump, and I figured if anything did go wrong for Ryan, it made more sense to me to have the hopefully reliable big scooter around. We took Little River Gorge Road, which runs to near Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and then we followed Newfound Gap Road and Clingmans Dome Road. They're all scenic roads with lots of turns, but this is a tourist area and pretty busy midday Saturday. Once you get to the end of the road, you're actually about 300 feet shy of the tallest point. So you've got to hike a half-mile each way up and down a steep path if you truly want to be at the top of Tennessee, at the third highest point east of the Mississippi. Ryan took the hike and visited the souvenir shop. I sat in the shade. He said the view really isn't any better, but he made it up that far, so he just wanted to go all the way to the top. Apparently it doesn't like elevation that much. Ah, nice reliable fuel injected. I had to hold it wide open. It's just too rich.
Not looking forward to it.
Score 1 for the carbureted racing two-stroke, 0 for the big EFI daily rider. We got back a little after 3 and took a quick break. Ryan was planning to go to the rally, but it was nearly 4 o'clock before he realized that the rally ended at 4 o'clock. There was a group ride to a stunt lot and the closing party for the rally at the American Legion in Maryville, Tennessee, so I went to film the ride passing by. After I got back to the motel, Ryan and I started loading up the truck and trailer and packing so we'd be ready to leave early Sunday morning. Once we were done, Ryan suggested that we could just leave, and I said that was fine with me, so we checked out and headed toward home at just before 8 p.m. I think we should have got some sleep first because I was tired by 10 and spent the remaining 7.5 hours hunched over the steering wheel just struggling to stay awake, keeping Ryan up talking about anything and everything to stay active, and stopping to get energy drinks and snacks a few times. We got back to my house in time for sunrise around 5:30 a.m. and I told Ryan he should get some sleep first, but we unloaded all of the bikes and then loaded them into his truck, and he made the 2.5-hour trip back to Pennsylvania. I almost didn't go to Tennessee because I'm not someone with a ton of disposable income, and anything that I do have tends to wind up in scooters and tools. I haven't been on a vacation for 19 years prior to this because I usually think of them as wasting a bunch of money for nothing tangible. I'm really glad that I went though. Splitting lodging, fuel, and trailer rental costs with Ryan made my half less than $600 to be gone from Tuesday to Sunday. I spent $30 to drag race, and food was my only other expense. I did spend quite a bit to prep for the trip though, because the truck didn't have a trailer hitch, and I bought more tow straps and more camera-related stuff and some extra clothes. But I'll have most of that for any future trips, and I've already made reservations for the 2024 Small Bore Rally that goes from June 6th to the 8th. So as long as everything goes well, I should be there next year, and maybe I'll actually visit the rally site next time. I don't like crowds much to begin with, and I got wrapped up in riding and filming the amazing roads in the area this time, but I regret not going literally right next door to the rally site, where they had a bike show, vendors, field games, and even a mobile dyno that I missed out on. Plus, it's nice to be around other people that are into small bikes. Just having our neighbors at the motel be small bore riders was fun, and everyone was friendly. Our neighbor 2 doors down had a Honda CB300R with the front forks and 12-inch wheels from a Grom swapped onto it. I wasn't even sure what it was at first, and for some reason I didn't get any pictures of it, but I went over one morning and he told me all about the swap and even told me I could take it for a spin if I wanted to. I never took him up on it, but he even offered again a day or two later when we talked. I'd never guessed that I'd meet essentially a stranger anywhere that would tell me to take their custom bike for a spin, and I can't honestly say that I'd be that kind, but overall, I was impressed with how nice everyone that we met was. I'm hoping we can get some more scooters to come out and drag race with us next year, and I'm looking forward to exploring more because scenic, twisty roads are everywhere down there. This is the end of the Smoky Mountain Small Bore series, but I want to say thanks to Ryan for encouraging me to go and being easy to get along with the entire time, and thanks to Matt and Tiffany Carpenter and all of the other people involved in making the event happen. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss my other content, and give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.